The Grenlec Debates. Power, bright ideas.
These are the 2024 Grenlec Debates. I am your host and former Grenlec debater, Ambrosia Charles. Welcome. We're in the second round of competition, the round of 16. The theme for this round is energy policy and economics. The areas of focus are energy policies, economic impact and subsidies, and taxes. Please note that although the students are given the topics and themes to research prior to the match, these debates are impromptu. The students develop their arguments today. They've selected their motions. They have been given 30 minutes to prepare their presentations without assistance from their teachers, and they're ready to debate. Let's get to it. This match is between St. Joseph's Convent, Grenville, and Presentation Brothers College. The motion is, be it resolved that energy taxes should be reduced to increase jobs. For the proposition, Presentation Brothers College. For the opposition, St. Joseph's Convent, Grenville.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, honorable opponents, we stand at a crucial crossroad today. This issue before us is not just a matter of opinion, but one that directly impacts our future. This issue demands clarity, reason, and without a doubt, action. We affirm the resolution, be it resolved that energy taxes should be reduced to increase jobs because the evidence is clear and the consequences are real. Today, we will demonstrate beyond a shadow of a doubt that the belief and support of this motion is the only logical choice. As the first speaker, I am responsible for providing the definitions to be used by my team today. My second speaker will continue by expanding and developing on the points to be made towards our position. My POI will interrogate our opponents, and my rebuttal speaker will place the icing on our cake here today. The creation of jobs is not limited to literal creation, but repetition of existing jobs. Just something to think about. Energy is defined as the ability to do work by the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Taxes, according to the Tax Foundation, is a mandatory payment or change collected by a government. Reduced is to bring into a lower state, according to the Webster's Dictionary. An increase is to make or become greater. Let us be honest here today. If energy taxes are reduced to increase jobs, this will undoubtedly incentivize more people to choose the energy sector, as the reduction in taxes will expand this sector. Think about it. With all the opportunities available to us today, the reduction of these taxes will expand the sector, allowing for more jobs to be created. And I don't think that is anything that someone should stand against. According from our interview with Mr. Leslie Smith, Director of Energy here in Grenada, this is expected to take place through the application of our policies, which will be reduced and are expected to be completed by 2030. These choices are not optional, for there is only one way to move forward in this position. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Be it resolved that energy taxes should be reduced to increase jobs. My colleagues and I stand in an unshaken stance against the Moot. As first speaker, my prominent role will be to define the key terms used. Then I will speak on the effects of the economy and the citizens and the avenues created for reducing small amounts, followed by my second speaker, who will further solidify our stance by speaking on salary loss and the contribution to global warming and climate change. Energy. Power obtained from fuel and other resources and used for light and heat. Taxes. money that people or business firms are required to pay a government to be used for public purposes and something that makes a heavy demand. Reduced, to make something less or decrease. Increased, the process of increasing an amount by which something increases. Jobs, work that someone does regularly to earn a living. Energy taxes being reduced to increase jobs don't make me laugh. Many countries that rely on exporting energy resources will not receive revenue that will further develop their economy and citizens. If these energy taxes are removed, most likely the country will experience an economic downfall in both money and jobs. Example, Guyana is nationally known for exporting oil and gas. When exporting these materials, the tax added gives them a higher profit. Also, if the energy taxes are reduced, the importers will try to bring in more energy sources, taking advantage, which leads to a loss in jobs as many people will be overwhelmed and have barely any work to do. And even if they have a job, their salary will decrease because they rely on that additional tax to get profit, not only for the country, but for the workers. They will not stop working, but it will reduce their profits. Reducing is not fully 100% gone. It just signifies that it will be less. Do you really think a little reduce, like 1 or 5%, will create avenues for jobs? That's just a minor outtake. It will create zero to little jobs. This is why we believe that be it resolved that energy taxes should not be reduced to increase jobs. I thank you.
The proposition does not agree with the definition stated by our opponents. As difficult as it is, it's outright preposterous to think that our opponents do not agree with the Moot provided. Be it resolved that energy taxes should be reduced to increase jobs. Judges, worthy opponents, most accurate timekeeper, colleagues, honorable chair, and others in the audience, a pleasant morning. No taxes actually creates jobs. The National Energy Policy, or NEP, of Grenada plans to go 100% renewable by 2030. They reduce all oil usage. Along with this, the taxes would be reduced, and persons who own electric vehicles would also have reduced taxes. This results in the creation of jobs because there will be a need for mechanics, technicians, and others in repairing and monitoring and maintaining these electric vehicles. There is also room for program creations like the TVET realizing that, Judges, I urge you to not become confused by the false statements and claims made by my worthy opponents today. Having an increase in taxes actually does the opposite. Given the fact that between 2015 and 2021, the global market and taxes increased by over 4,590 and global investments reduced by $495 billion in 2022. Given the fact that the energy taxes increased over 40% and billions of dollars were invested and it failed, wouldn't it be logical to conclude that reducing taxes will create new job opportunities? And this is from the World Economic Forum. We should really consider this. The reduction in taxes will also act as catalyst for experiential growth of the economy. To conclude, my team and I stand in 100% agreement with the Moot provided today and truly believe that the reduction in energy taxes would result in an increase of jobs. I rest my case.
Good morning, all. With the motion being, be it resolved that energy taxes should be reduced to increase jobs, my team and I irrefutably oppose this motion. Firstly, reducing energy taxes simply will not increase jobs. The people who already work in the tax industry relies heavily on people and companies paying taxes to get paid. With energy taxes being reduced, salaries of the tax workers may potentially be decreased, and that can put them in a tough position. For example, if a single father works in the tax department of a company and he gets paid based on the taxes given by the customers of that company, what do you think will happen to his children if he has little to no money to sustain them? My worthy opponents, would you not feel bad? Additionally, if the energy taxes are significantly reduced, that will encourage countries and states to import more fossil fuels because it will cost them less than before. Fossil fuels contribute heavily to climate change, global warming, and ozone depletion. The contribution of fossil fuels towards climate change is primarily through the release of greenhouse gases when they are burned. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, carbon dioxide from fossil fuel combustion accounts for about 70% of global greenhouse gas emissions related to human activity. Furthermore, with the amount of carbon dioxide being released into the atmosphere by the burning of fossil fuels, it adds to the global warming, which is one of the most serious concerns in the 21st century. It has been shown that the formation of natural disasters, such as hurricanes, are heavily affected because of the amount of humidity released into the atmosphere caused by global warming. In summary, because of the alarming effects of tax reduction, my team and I profoundly believe that energy taxes should absolutely not be reduced to increase jobs. I thank you.
What protoplast or type of occupation will be produced?
Can you please repeat the question, my worthy opponents?
What protoplast or type of occupation would be produced when reducing taxes?
As we mentioned in our second speaker's speech, the reduction of taxes also reduces the importation fees of hybrid and electric vehicles, and in order for those vehicles to successfully and continue to be on the road, they will need mechanics and maintenance workers for those vehicles.
What form or type of requisition or task are we referring to?
Tax?
Yes.
Importation tax as well as income tax for persons who has those vehicles.
Next question.
By what interval degree would the taxes be subjugated or reduced?
Can you please repeat your question?
By what interval would the taxes be subjugated or reduced?
Well, the opponents, we cannot provide you with a time span or an interval, as you said, for that.
Your second speaker mentioned that there would be a need for mechanics and technicians. So what would happen to the old mechanics and technicians?
There will be new jobs. There will be new jobs provided.
And also, the TVET partnered with the Caribbean Development Bank to offer skill-enhancing training for persons who are specialized in internal combustion engine vehicles to transition to those hybrid engines.
Additionally, the OECS retraining and reskilling programs.
Thank you.
You've mainly talked about renewable energy. What about fossil fuels?
The Moot does not specify what type of energy, so we focus on the one that is implemented now in our national energy policy, which is renewable energy.
Okay, thank you.
Given the fact that in developing nations such as ours, according to Grenlec, the value-added tax on energy and electricity bills can range from 15% to 7.5% effective February 1st, 2023. Wouldn't it be logical to reduce these taxes, as reducing it would mean new job opportunities will be available to people in the low-income bracket?
For the opponents, could you repeat the question, please?
Given the fact that in developing nations such as ours, according to Grenlec, the value-added tax on energy and electricity bills can range from 15% to 7.5% effective February 1st, 2023. Wouldn't it be logical to reduce these taxes, as reducing it would mean new job opportunities will be available to people in low income brackets?
You talked about the VAT added on electricity bills from Grenlec ranging from 15% to 7.5%, but that has nothing to do with creating jobs. That's just the electricity bill.
It is a value-added tax on electricity bill and energy bills.
Exactly. So how would reducing the tax on bills provide jobs?
With the people in the Given the fact that energy taxes amounted to 7 trillion globally in 2022 according to the IMF, wouldn't redirecting and reducing these taxes to different sectors to invest in reskilling programs create new job opportunities?
Yes, sir, the opponent is would.
Thank you. The first speaker, or your first speaker, stated that reducing of taxes will cause the importers to spend more money and purchase more energy sources. If that is the case, wouldn't this simply mean more sources, more job opportunities?
As it would require more manpower to maintain and operate these heavier sources.
My opponent repeat the question, please.
Your first speaker stated that reducing of taxes will cause importers to spend more money and purchase more energy sources. In this case, wouldn't that simply mean
Don't tell me you are easily swayed by our opponent's fallacious claims. A pleasant morning to all. We, the opposition, firmly stand against the Moot. Be it resolved that energy taxes should be reduced to increase jobs. Your first speaker stated that the reduction of these energy taxes expands job opportunities. But how is this so? As our first speaker explained, a reduction does not mean it is fully gone. Therefore, these jobs would remain, which clearly shows no new jobs are created. You spoke about electric vehicles creating job opportunities for people such as mechanics and maintenance workers. Aren't mechanics already there? This would only increase their skills and abilities, not new jobs. You also stated that the reduction of energy taxes are catalysts for growth of the economy. We firmly stated that countries which rely on the exportation of energy resources will not be able to receive their rightful amount of revenue, therefore leads to a stress on these countries' economic states. This is why we, the opposition, firmly stand against the Moot. Be it resolved that energy taxes should be reduced to increase jobs. I thank you.
Energy. Its impact is universal. This was said by Dr. Decima Williams, President of Senate. Judges, audience, I would like to bring to your attention that the first speaker of the opposition indeed defined key terms in the Moot. However, she stated no sources for any of the terms defined. The first speaker of the opposition had also stated that energy taxes should not be reduced to increase jobs. To this I ask, how? Energy sectors, particularly solar, wind, and fossil fuel industries, create more jobs per unit energy than any other industry worldwide. For example, a report made by the International Energy Agency, the IENA, estimated that the energy sector employed about 30 million people globally in 2020, up 11.5 million in 2019, and 500,000 in the US alone, which is fact-checked by the US Department of Energy. The second speaker had stated about the energy sector and its contribution to global warming, about fossil fuels and its contribution to global warming. However, what does this have to do with the Moot? How does this contribute to job creation? I'll tell you, it doesn't. So imagine with me, judges, audience, worthy opponents. If energy taxes are reduced worldwide, think about the jobs created, the families supported, and the lifestyles changed and sustained by these jobs. In the POI section, my worthy opponents kept asking about the wrong tax. Income tax is not energy tax. They even agreed that redirecting and reducing these taxes to invest in reskilling programs will reduce job opportunities. I thank you.
Presentation Brothers College has won this match. Congratulations. We say hats off to all participants. We thank you, our viewing audience, for joining us, and we invite you to tune in again for a complete coverage of the next match in the Round of 16 series.
The Grenlec debates. Power, bright ideas.
The Grenlec debates will be broadcast on MTV Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. and on Saturday at 6 p.m. and on GBN TV Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. and on Sunday at 4 p.m.
Tune in